Good morning, good morning, good morning, and Mahala Monday it is. Thank you very much for joining us. There's Rhoda, everybody.
And there's Dougal, everybody.
Hello. Nice to have you along with us. Thank you for joining us with this second broadcast of the day for Mahala Monday. And of course, we're live on YouTube and on Facebook at Nickay Productions, an interactive show. So guess what? We're looking forward most to what you've got to ask and you've got to say, of course. And I'm looking forward to this in so many ways because last week was a build-up for this week, wasn't it?
It definitely was a build-up for this week. And, you know, all the excitement and all the initiatives and everything that's happening out there, it just makes a person so excited.
Now, and just to be very, very clear, because we all know yesterday was International Nelson Mandela Day. Now, I'm not too sure, but I know the United Nations declared it International Nelson Mandela Day. So this is observed throughout the world. And I can't remember, because I think from 2009 this has been taking place. I can't exactly remember the year that the UN declared that. But be as it may, so that is the important thing. This gets observed throughout the year. And I'm only saying this because last week we had a whole host of programs. And the most important thing about that for you is you need to go and check it out, because I personally believe, and I think you believed it as well, because I believe that after you convinced me of that, that Nelson Mandela Day is not just something that happens on the 18th of July. It is not something that we just do and be aware of our society and immediate community for just 67 minutes, is it, Rhoda?
That is so true. And, you know, it's just for our initiative at Mahala Monday that said, you know what are we going to do for Mandela Day? And with COVID, obviously, the restrictions that's out there, our idea was to give a little bit of platform and a bit of sunshine to all our initiatives out there, of all our NPOs, NGOs, NPCs, whoever was out there, give them a little bit of life and light. And then also for you to go and look at these videos and see how you can not just help them for Mandela Day, actually help them right throughout the year, because food is needed every single day.
Yeah, and the bigger, you know what arises and arose for me from that, and it constantly arises for me, is just having that conversation. Once you have a conversation where you become socially aware, when you speak to people, you ask them what are your needs, and just it creates to better understanding it. This is what it is about, and that is the key to all of this. And also, you know, there's so many people we'd like to thank, but definitely what I want you to do is definitely go have a look at those episodes that we've had. It is absolutely remarkable, and it's certainly exceptionally informative as well. And like I said, there's a lot of people we need to thank for that, so we'll definitely like it, share it, but definitely watch it. Which brings us to this specific program, Rhoda.
Oh yeah, and it makes me very excited because I love Christmas, and especially for presents.
You might be thinking, what is she all on about? Okay, yeah, Christmas. It might just be July, but please do not trust me on this. This is we certainly all love Christmas, but more importantly, of course, it is about spreading love. It is about doing our bit. And you might have heard of the Senior Santa shoebox. If you haven't, this is a really, really impressive and amazing initiative. And we're going to find out a little bit more. Which brings us to the moment of truth, because you might have seen her on Mahala Monday before. It is such a privilege welcoming her back. Angela Gorman is joining us this morning. Angela, thank you very much for your time. Thank you for coming back onto Mahala Monday. Man, what can I say? Long time no see, but here you are.
Thank you, Nickay, and for humanity, for inviting me.
No, absolutely wonderful to have you to have you here with us. You know, it is really, really, really fantastic to have you along. So a Senior Santa shoebox. Where do we begin?
It got started very quickly. It was sort of one of those instant things. You know how it just happens.
Yeah.
My children and I had been watching a program about a university in South America who had twinned with an old age home in America. And it was symbiotic in that the children learned to speak English from the Americans, and the Americans got an interest. They got something to keep them occupied. They got a young person who was going out and doing things that they could almost adopt as like a grandchild. And my son, who's a techie, thought this was the best thing ever. And he said, can't we go to an old age home here and start something like that, where we can link them to people, that they can have somebody to talk to, that they can meet, if I can link them, that they can meet grandparents or grandchildren overseas or something. So we went down to the local old age home in Plumstead, and what we found was very distressing because most of them didn't have cell phones, didn't have computers, and they didn't have any form of internet connection. And so we thought that wasn't going to work. And then in talking to the staff, we heard that 19 of the 47 in the home didn't have family, didn't have anybody visiting them the whole year. And so we said, well, then we've got to do something for them. We must give them, like the kiddies shoebox scheme that is doing so incredibly well. I mean, there are over 2 million kids now get presents. But so we decided we must do something for the old people. And then we started with the 19 who didn't have gifts. And then my daughter said, you can't stop there. You've got to do for the others as well. Otherwise, they're going to get jealous. So we did. We completed that home the first year because we started in November. And the visual is of the most awesome guy who used to be a ballet dancer, who's now in one of the homes, and he is he's got a fabulous little program of his own to keep himself busy. He crochets, and he crochets beanies, which he then gives back to us, and we hand them out to people who need them. So it's a fabulous giving back. The old people giving back to what we're trying to help them with.
Wow. So he makes his beanies, and these beanies are then put also into the boxes. Am I correct? Or is it...
No, I mean, there might be somebody who has an initiative at the time. Like winter now, everybody needs beanies. They don't always want them in summer. So then we keep them, you know, because, we keep them until they're needed.
That's why I love you, Angela. Let me just be very frank here. This is why I love you, because this is like, we started like Angela's like, that's the passion that's what we're talking about, man. That's why she's here. So, so you and your children, let me just recap this. So there's none of this. None of this exists. You and your children are watching TV, just minding your own business. You see this interesting program on TV where there's a link up between people doing things to elders and learning vice versa, exchanging of gifts. Some American program. Your son turns around and says, Mom, we got to do that. And then you go down to the local old age home and you go, okay, this is what we can do. That's what we can do. Your daughter goes, well, you can't stop there. We've got other old age homes now. When was this?
This was 6 years ago.
Wow.
And when we did the one home with the OT at the home said, but listen, I've got a friend at Erica Place, which is a CPOA home. Can't you do it there? And sort of we looked at Erica Place, who had 96 residents, and thought, can we do this? But we could. And we now have 13 homes that we make gifts for every Christmas.
13? 1, 3?
13. From one.
Yeah.
And that is how is how it's grown over the last 6 years. Sorry.
Yeah.
Wow. So it just started off as your kids holding you to ransom. Okay, Mom, let's do something. 13 homes later, your family has grown.
Yes, my family has grown. My daughter has stayed with the program, and she's now at university, and she does initiatives herself, and she and her group of friends, that's one of her friends in the picture with the hat on, the Christmas hat on. They go and they do homes themselves, and they've even got their own Santa. Sort of is a small guy, but he's got an enormous voice and great personality, and he makes a fabulous Santa.
I'm just listening to your good stories there. Was there any other good stories? I mean, like the guy it was a ballet dancer. Is there any other good stories that some of the elderly are doing at homes? Because one is always thinking they're sitting there watching television. You know, is there other little things that they've been doing?
The home in Heiderveld, there's a group of women who knit. So we take them wool and they knit squares, and then we put the squares together, which form these ponchos on these ladies behind you. And a poncho is such a lovely thing in a wheelchair because your arms are free and yet you are incredibly warm and cozy. And they just look so bright and they love them. So so that's what we do with the squares. There was a school that had a knitting competition as well, and they approached us, one of the women who wanted to knit but couldn't. So she started a program where we gave R5. We paid R5 for each square that was knitted plus another ball of wool. So and those went to a school. So the people who knitted got some pocket money for what they were doing.
Wow.
So
I
those
love it.
squares, as we see them there, that has been knit by residents of these specific homes, and
Yes.
then they just do squares all around.
Yes, they do squares and then we put them all together.
Oh, my word, how
And that gets
brilliant
sort
is
of
that?
then, yeah, like I want to say, get plowed back into the elderly community, as we see there on the picture.
Yes, yes.
That's
Oh,
beautiful.
wow, yeah. Do you know
Keeps them
what?
busy.
Yeah, it is. It is wonderful when people take hands. It is amazing when you see the pictorial proof, when you see the evidence, when you see just. It's just amazing. It is just an amazing thing to experience. And because I wanted to ask you now, okay, so this whole thing, when you started this initiative, was this just purely for Christmas? Because now, I mean, our Christmas is not in July, and you will be wearing that when it's a little cool, isn't it?
It started off as a Christmas thing, but then sort of we heard from the homes that the residents would like more. You know, they would like sort of other things celebrated.
Oh.
So Easter was the easy one because we collected a whole lot of those marshmallow eggs, and who doesn't love those?
Oh, yeah.
And so then we would package them up, and then they would be handed out at Easter. And then we started on Mother's Day, Father's
Wow.
Day, and then Women's Day. We collected handbags, you know, people who had previously loved handbags or handbags that you didn't use anymore.
Yeah.
So all the ladies in the homes got given a handbag. And that was really nice because, you know, they really loved that.
Yeah.
And then
And also, Women's Day is around the corner.
Oh,
Angela?
is Angela there? Oh, I
But
think-
yeah,
yeah,
Angela, I
Francis,
think, is there.
Our director's going to try and get her back quickly.
But there's so many things Angela's just said there, Rhoda.
Yeah.
So there's these various days, not just the initiative around about
Yeah.
Christmas, but so what we know is 6 years ago this all started. Imagine you watching
6
something
years.
with your child, and your child says, "Mom, we need to
You know what?
just do."
Yeah.
That speaks to somebody who's in touch of what is happening.
What's
I mean, and I'm singing her praises because, or family's praises for that
Oh,
matter.
yeah.
But that is how it is.
That it is. You know what hit me out of the conversation and just chatting to her, you know, the girl was the 19 that actually had no family visiting them. And I mean, I was quite a bit upset about that because, you know what?
Sure.
You were raised by these parents and
Yeah.
you're basically some of these are grandparents. And they needed you. They were there for you when you were born. They didn't leave you laying there with a dirty nappy or just left you at your own devices. So that was a time you needed them the most. And you know, I find that now the elderly being at the vulnerable age that they're at right now, they actually need these kids.
Sure.
So you know what? I'm sorry. I mean, I'm getting a bit emotional and a bit upset about this, but you know, 19 out of the 45, which is basically almost half of the home, not having any visitors.
No,
I mean, how upsetting is that?
biggest holiday of the year.
Yeah. You know,
Let's put it in perspective.
let's put it in perspective.
Now, this is 6 years ago. Happy times.
Yeah.
Let me tell you this. 6
Yeah.
years ago, happy times. You were going, visiting all your friends. You could come back at 2 in the morning, leave at whatever time you want. We were hugging and kissing. You could see who shaved and who didn't shave. Now, COVID times.
COVID times.
How lonely is it now?
How lonely is that now, Dougal? Just think of that, because you're not allowed, even for those that could get visitors, there's no visitors.
Much more restrictions now.
So much more restrictions. No organizations coming in, giving them entertainment. How depressing is that, you know? So there would always be some organization like Santa's Shoebox that's actually entertaining or seeing to them for the rest, or at least during the year, just to give them a bit of upliftment, especially for those that actually just don't get visitors at all.
Yeah.
You know? How depressing is it?
You know what, Rhoda, and if we look about what we've had in the past couple of days, it has been one of those where for 67 minutes, and we've said this, you know, don't just go at volunteer time so you can go paint a building.
Yeah.
Because that is
Yeah.
what you're going to do for 67 minutes. You
Yeah.
go, so the building gets paid from 8 in the morning till 5 in the afternoon.
Yeah.
That is it. And
That's
then
it.
bye-bye, see you next year, and here we are to paint again. No. I'm sorry, even if the building is painted a little bit, it got painted 2 years ago, and the paint can still go.
Yeah.
But there's that bits where 10 minutes tomorrow, in a week from now, another 10 minutes. You're not asking for an eternity, but it is those little differences that that makes the picture whole.
Makes a picture whole.
And that is the important thing. So and I think this is one of those elements where when we speak to what is there that we can do for Nelson Mandela Day, and to really make it extend well beyond just the one day.
Yeah.
That this would be it.
That is so true, Dougal. And you know what? This is the Santa Shoebox is an initiative that you that don't necessarily maybe want to go and see the elderly, just to donate something to be able to be put in the box and make them a bit of happy, just to give them a little thing to actually say, here's little something from my family. Why don't all families do this?
Yeah, or just go and help in wrapping with the box. Because I'm now interested to find out what is in the box. How would you even know what to do? I'm meant to find it as... So Angela's back. Angela, thank you so much. Good to see you. So yeah, you know what? We were just talking about all the brilliant things that is happening. Firstly, could you tell us what is in the box now that we know how this has started? How did you even establish that?
I think these initiatives are all over the world. So we took what was going in America. They do a lot of this kind of thing in America because there hadn't been anything in South Africa for the seniors. So we used theirs, and then sort of over the years we have altered it to fit our homes and fit the people in the homes. So people in frail care have completely different needs to those who are walking around or in wheelchairs, and we want to make sure that the guy who has an amputated leg doesn't get socks or a pair of shoes, and that we cater for people. I mean, there are people out there who are amputees themselves, and they now twin with somebody who's a left foot amputee. He gets the shoe when they buy new ones. And so it's been amazing in that way. So it's basic toiletries, which they need. Treats are the best, small packets of biscuits and sweets and chocolates and biltong and the things we love at Christmas time. And then things like just something special, maybe even a scarf for the ladies, a lipstick for the ladies, because they still want to look nice, and a cap or something, peak cap for the guys. And then we try and put in a magazine. So You Magazine is the best.
Oh, yeah.
And You Magazine have come in over the years and have donated us some of their back copies.
Wow.
We keep trying to say to them, stagger it so that they're not all getting 100 copies in a home of the same issue. At least let them share it.
Yeah.
But we'll get there.
We'll get there.
You know what? I like this. So it's been around for a couple of years, and we've got a comment on there as well, which comes from Hubert Paul. So Hubert, thank you very much for watching. Hubert says Angela and her family, who I've known for a while, embodies the true beauty. That true beauty is born through her actions and aspirations and kindness she offers to others. So I love her and her family to bits. And you know what? That is huge. Hubert, thank you very much for saying that. Angela, when you hear comments like that, I'm sure. And especially when you lead by such an example.
I was just going to say.
I mean, surely there is. You got to have a sense of pride, I would imagine. But I know what I know of you now is I know you don't do it for that sort of accolades.
Yeah. So no, it's just lovely to know that you are actually making a change in people's lives and bringing a bit of happiness into the homes. I see it, when one goes there. The one home we were able to give the wishes out to because it's we could do it through their balcony doors. The oldies just wanted to talk. They just wanted that connection with someone. It is just so tragically sad what's happened to them under lockdown. So it's just such a pity we can't get the laptops in there that they could communicate with other people, but they also don't have the technical know-how, So it's a very trapped generation because they're out of, many of them can't even use cell phones. So it's very sad.
You know what? It
They
is funny.
relied on people.
Yeah, it is funny when you say that, and especially if you've been in a home, let's say just for the last 5 years. It's amazing how society has sort of moved on, and obviously if you look at COVID, just from a technological perspective, of course, we've accelerated the time frame by so much. We literally 5 years ahead of where we would have been in normal time. So how we get our normal information, how we interact today has changed vastly. And we're so concerned that we sometimes lose perspective of the picture, of what is important. Like you say, just having that connection, which is important. And having the connection is actually leading me to this next question. So you had a look at what was happening elsewhere in the world in terms of determining what should go in a box or what would be the immediate needs. But also in that, did you establish some sort of relationship now with people that run these facilities, the nurses, the matrons, all of that?
Yeah, absolutely. I've got very good relationships with them, and also with many of the residents who sort of you get to know by being there all the time. And sadly, it is an institution where people do pass on, but we've made some very strong connections, and it's really nice to know that one person likes reading crime novels, the other one wants You magazine, and that you can actually make sure that people get what they really, really want.
Yeah. And is this something that is just happening in Cape Town?
No, we actually last year we started one in Johannesburg. A friend of mine who was in the events industry, and then obviously events industries, I think it's the only one that still isn't back. I mean, everyone talks about restaurants, but events aren't back yet.
No.
And she started Senior Santa Johannesburg, and I think they were managed to do 2 homes. There certainly is a lot of goodwill, but one has to keep a finger on the pulse because there certainly is donor fatigue at the moment. People are struggling. It's not like it was 3 years ago.
That is so true. And just talking about that now, that obviously you're restricted. If you don't get enough donors or sponsors as such, then the restriction obviously becomes that you can only service so many elderly at one time. So for me is and this is why we're broadcasting this as well, how can the people out there, because we're not just talking about companies now, we're actually talking about just like your family had started, what other families out there can make it so special that what can they do?
It's not only families, it can be ladies' book clubs, Pilates, yoga, whatever people do in their spare time, running groups can get together and form a club and do stuff. Just been approached by a lady who asked what she and her friends can do. They didn't have a lot of funds, but they wanted to make a difference. So what they're going to be putting together is little packs where they're going to put in a hot chocolate sachet and a Nescafe sachet as well, and a little packet of biscuits. And so those will go to the homes where somebody just gets a little treat, because that's what keeps you moving, is being able to look forward. And at the moment, the old people can't look forward. There's nothing on their horizon.
I'm just going to say, I mean, I get
that going.
I mean, I'll be honest. I get excited when I get a box. I love sweet things. I love sweets and chocolates. So once my kids bring me a box of all of this, it excites me to another level. I can just imagine the excitement the elderly gets when they have this box and having to have basically nothing, especially now at the time with COVID. I can just imagine the excitement and the happiness.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
And on that note, I'm going to come back to that because I think that's going to be my fun. I'm writing it down. But Angela, now, because the reason I'm saying I'm going to come back to it because I see this picture of something that appears to is that a key ring that's behind us there?
Those are key rings, and those are made by a guy in Hedefeld in Oakhaven, and we sell them now on our Facebook page, and he earns some pocket money. He can buy more rings, and he comes up with different ideas. He's going to do angels. We're starting making angels, which we will sell for him to get some more money, and also as Christmas decorations. They're really beautiful. I'm sorry, there isn't a picture of one.
Absolutely wonderful.
Yeah.
So this is actually one of the residents that makes those key rings and then sells them for... Yes?
Yeah, it sells them for 40 Rand each.
40 Rand, okay. And they can view all this and purchase them via your Facebook. They can go have a look at there and then
Yes, exactly. Buy our Facebook page.
Facebook page.
Yeah.
Okay.
I like that because it's one of those giving back, and I want to go back because earlier, and I know we touched on it, but I just want to go into it again as well. We had a picture of a gentleman dancing, and then you said this gentleman does beanies.
Yes, he makes beanies, crochets them. And they're really beautiful. They're very nice.
And just to be clear, the gentleman we have on the picture there is currently a resident at a facility.
Yeah.
I mean, how tragic. He's in a wheelchair and he was such a fit and able Cape beautiful dancer.
Oh my.
Wow.
Oh
wow. My goodness. My goodness. And
old age isn't for sissies.
No, it's definitely not. Oh my word.
When you say it that way, it it hits home, and it most definitely is. So that is the gentleman, and look at him. It's just brilliant. What a brilliant
old
picture.
age homes, I mean, they're actually quite interesting because we had one man who came into an old age home and he was grumpy and mean-spirited, and he had a walking stick, and whenever he walked down the passage, he would clap people as he went. And then he met a lady there who's in a wheelchair. She's got Parkinson's, and they fell in love.
Oh, wow.
And when they sat together, she didn't shake, and he became this incredibly different person who wanted to read. I mean, he asked me if I could get him some Dylan Thomas poetry books, and he read to her, and together they worked on the garden. She used the wheelchair to balance herself, and he dug away in the garden, and they created a very pretty garden together.
Wow.
Sadly, he's now passed, but she's still in the home. And so there are some incredible connections that do get made in the home. So, you know, there is love still exists.
Yeah.
Oh my!
And I think that is wonderful because this is really hitting the essence. I mean, if I look at the picture of the gentleman, the dancer gentleman, and as you said now tragically sits in a wheelchair in a home. This is why this having this conversation is important. Because in that old age home, wisdom, experience.
Oh yeah.
And that is the one thing we need. So if anything, just have a conversation, because we all know the rule of a conversation is this is where the great moment, the great connection starts. And like you said, even somebody who had he was a little bit a brisk and all of that.
Yeah.
You know, and all of a sudden made a connection with somebody, and then just the things we dream of came from that situation. So I think that is the important thing. And if I just go back to that gentleman, the dancer, I mean, imagine the experience throughout the home, how you can make the connection, how life has changed, where you want to go with your life, and that is how you contribute. So having all sorts of things in the box is absolutely brilliant. But the most important thing is you need things to put in the box. And we're going to get to that in a short little moment. But also we're going to have some comments come up on the screen as well in a moment or so. And Angela, just moving ahead to this, how do they get in touch with you if they want to put something in a box? Other families watching this going, let's do something. And yes, we understand too what you said as well. Donor fatigue is a real thing. Everywhere we see this now. COVID has amplified everything in any way.
Yeah.
But in most times it is just a little bit of your time. But how would they go about it?
Well, they can either contact us via Facebook, which is we are basically Facebook driven, or they can email us or contact me via phone. So that's probably the easiest way.
The easiest. All right. So Facebook, you would go and or phone, and those details we will definitely get on again in a short little bit, of course. So throughout the year, so do you have any drop-off points if somebody says, "Okay, Angela, I've got some stuff"? Are there other places that are involved? Like if I've got a bag of chocolates, I just want to go put it somewhere. Can I do that?
Got what we call our elves, the ladies who help.
Okay.
Like Santa and his elves. So we've got little elves all over the place. So they become our drop-off points. But we've just been offered a really nice place in the northern suburbs, which we haven't had before, and that is Moondrops Flowers. They've offered as a drop-off point. And then Blue Route Mall in the southern suburbs is our other drop-off point, and they start a campaign in October, which is the 1st of October is the International Day of Old People, and they start an awareness campaign there, and people can drop off items which are then made into boxes in the 4 weeks up to Christmas. Wow. So we have stands there, and all the items are displayed, and then we have elves putting them into boxes and wrapping them up and getting them ready. And Blue Route will support 3 homes. They do Lotus River, Bontehevel, and Hanover Park.
Wow.
So that is absolutely wonderful. So I could go for my shopping at Blue Route Mall. I get there, I could buy something and just put it in a box.
Yeah, absolutely.
Wow.
Simple.
Yeah.
Love it. Love it, love it. Hubert says generosity isn't an act, it's a way of life. Courage, kindness, friendships. These are the qualities that define us as a human being. So that is it. He also goes on to say Senior Centre and the A2 have promoted acting aging at these welfare homes through choir competitions, to wishing trees, to knitting amongst the seniors, and to generally just spreading love, which is just heartwarming hearing all of that, Hubert. It is just...
The A2 is the most amazing person. He is one of our Santas. And he is absolutely incredible because he gets everybody motivated. And what he used to do was once a week he would go to the CPOA welfare homes and he would sing with them. And he was absolutely brilliant the way he would get them up and dancing and singing. And of course, they haven't had him for 15 months now. So, so A, we lost our Santa, and B, they lost this ray of sunshine that came into their homes once a week.
Yeah. We used to take photos as well as from our other side, which is the Nickay company side, where we took photos of A2 as well, and I used to dance with him. It was difficult taking the photos and trying to stand still and not dance, so I thoroughly enjoyed it as well. I think that's why a lot of my photos were kind of shaking because I was also going at it.
Good excuse, hey Rhoda.
Very good excuse.
Angela, I mean, what is there that we can say? It is very, very easy to find you. This is truly an amazing initiative. And as we said earlier, between Rhoda and myself, we were saying we think Christmas, it might be early, but it's not, because as you said at the Blue Route Mall, so from the 1st of October, and just correct me if I'm wrong, you said that is Seniors Day? Official Seniors Day, the
International Day of Older People.
National Day of Older People, which starts then. So collections effectively at Blue Route Mall will then be starting from the 1st of October.
So you can spread it out. You don't have to do everything the week before Christmas.
Yeah.
In fact,
so
don't do it then.
And then, sorry, on that one, obviously, we've got Moondrops now in the Bellville side, which is in your northern suburbs. And you probably just still need to confirm with them, or can people start dropping as well as of from October as well?
I think we must confirm with them first, and then we will get the dates and the dates and times that people can drop off, and the address as well. It was an open suggestion. I just need to make sure they're happy with that.
I'm sure they will be happy with a name like Moondrops. It just sounds...
Moondrops.
You know what I mean? I'll be happy with it, because that as it is. And of course, people can contact you, Senior Centre Shoebox at gmail.com. And of course, we got your phone number on there as well, as easy as that. And even if they want something as simple as just just tell us, and if they go with the email and of course and Facebook, on there, I am assuming that should something be in higher demand than normal, that maybe if people want to find out, if you want to sort of give something with make a small donation of a gift of sorts, that it is in higher demand.
You're asking me what's in higher demand at the moment?
Yeah, as well.
Okay, so what's in high demand at the moment is nappies. There's an incredible shortage of adult nappies. They usually get given by the day hospitals, and the day hospitals haven't had stock. Wow. So that is something that, it's been really, really sad, that having to limit people to 3 nappies a day. If you are incontinent, that is very hard.
Yeah.
You know, I was actually just thinking of that now exactly, you know, exactly what we say about Mandela Day as well, Dougal. It shouldn't be happening just for Christmas. If there's anything that you can donate right now, especially the nappies, guys, come now. You know, get to these facilities, get hold of Angela, and then find out how you can get these nappies to these people. And then Hubert again, at the end of the day, they are just recycled teenagers. Oh, shame.
Hubert is getting us into trouble.
You're getting us in trouble here.
Yeah. Now he says a live broadcast from Blue Root Ball showing the elves and generous donors would be fantastic. Question mark. I say yes. Let's
say
vote.
yes.
What do you say?
I say yes. We will get through to
I say yes.
our director. On
That
that
will be
side.
something.
I think that will be brilliant.
That
and
will be
create
something.
that hype, you know?
Yeah.
So, yeah.
We'll speak to the
Guys
bosses.
have also,
Yeah.
you've given me an idea as well, because you were talking about losing wisdom. And I think if we had to start something and create a small book where we did a
Wow.
photograph, Rhoda could come and do photographs
there
of
we
the
go.
residents, and we
wow.
could then have their wisdom, how they treat a cold. They
Wow.
cut an onion and put it in honey and let it seep overnight, and then you get rid of your cold. All those wonderful old remedies. Dougal, it actually happens. It does work. But
The onion and honey thing is a thing.
it's a thing. It's a thing. Because it makes juice overnight, and then you drink that like a cough mixture.
Ah.
But it is. My mom does that.
There we go.
Yeah,
But
the
just
sugar
if
and the
you have
onion.
a book of these residents and
wow.
what they
Their
do
wisdom.
to, what they remember, what their grandmothers taught them. You know, we
Yeah.
can't let that wisdom go.
Sure.
No,
And then
you're
there's actually a
absolutely
picture
right.
of them as well. So for the families and always have
Exactly.
something. Oh my.
Yeah.
I-
But that
I'm
is a good
liking
idea.
this.
I like the way you think. We need to talk to you more because now we're also going to Blue Root Mall. Is that where we're going?
That's
a
where
live
we're
broadcast from Blue. You see now we're now going out. I like this. We need to talk to you more.
We're going on site.
Yeah, but that is a brilliant suggestion, and that's a wonderful idea. And yeah, I'm going to say it again. This is when you talk, when you have a conversation, a great moment comes.
There we go.
Somebody says something, it's about collaborating. I'm not saying I did anything or you did anything
No.
with the idea, but this is how it starts. This
it's
is always
starts.
how it starts. We're going to drag for humanity into this as well. It
Most
is going to be a
definitely.
thing. And I think we're definitely going to do that. That sounds absolutely super fantastic.
I'm
and
really
wouldn't
excited
that
now.
be something? That would be something. And of course, that will be a little bit closer to the time.
Yeah.
Before Christmas, I would imagine, before people wrap up. But we
Yes.
will talk about that. And yes, we are committing
going
to
to
that,
look up.
Angela. That is a wonderful idea. But mostly Hubert is the one who suggested it. So thank
So
you,
thank
sir.
you, sir.
Thank you, Hubert.
Thank you, sir, for saying that. So, Angela, that is absolutely fantastic because this is a wonderful, wonderful initiative. And I really think it is an initiative that everybody should be behind this initiative
Oh,
and also be
yeah.
very mindful of this because this is, I like this because you know what? And please forgive me for saying this because this is one where you can just have a conversation by just making an effort. You can gain so much. Exactly to what you said in terms of the wisdom, the stories. You have so much to gain from just engaging with us, and especially when we're sitting with such a vast need. Now, before we wrap up, all of this, we all understand, of course, COVID has put restrictions on
Oh,
everything.
yeah.
So that makes even these things the more difficult. So all I can say is this initiative is really fantastic. It is really something that I think a lot of people can get behind, businesses and everybody, and really do that with the essence of Mandela Day. We're
there we
still
go.
in that, and
We're
let's
still
make
in
that
that.
every day. So we know
Every
now
day.
how people can drop things off. There's mood drops in Belleville, which they got to hop on board since we're going out. They're saying yes already.
We don't have a choice.
Blue Root Ball is where it all starts as well. You can visit the Facebook page. I'm just brilliant.
So if you're wanting to get more of these details as well, the show will be on our YouTube channel as well. So you can always go back and actually look at all the contact details there as well.
Yeah. Angela, from your side, any final thoughts?
More people that will make this the merrier is the better. I mean, I just would be so happy to have as many people, and also, I mean, maybe start a little senior center if you've got an area that you look after. I mean, we struggle in, I don't know what you call it, in sort of the west coast area. So we
yeah.
don't have anybody there yet. So somebody out that area would be wonderful to have on board. You know, if you've got a cousin in George, you know, let them start the initiative. Let's just keep it going. Let's keep rolling.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
absolutely
Wow.
wonderful.
I love that.
I think it is. But
Sure.
Angela, may I just say that this initiative, I mean, it's all started down with you watching a TV program. So it's one of those things where my mum said, watching TV all day is a bad thing. It certainly isn't now. This is a brilliant initiative, but your effort and everything that you've done, absolutely amazing. Please keep it up, because it is actions like this that really make society wonderful.
So
So
true.
thank you for
Yeah.
that.
And just listening to Madiba's quote, and it's on our screen right now, a society that does not value its older people, denies its roots, and endangers its future. Wow.
Well, there you have it. There you
Words
have it.
from our wise Madiba.
There you have it. So Angela Gorman, thank you so much for joining us. We wish you all the success and all the strength and all the courage. May it
Oh,
long
yeah.
continue, and well done on these efforts. You are truly a great example. A great example for
Totally.
all of
Brilliant
us. So
example.
thank you for
Thank
being
you.
so inspirational and doing all of that. Thank you very much.
so much. Bye.
That's Angela, everybody.
Wow.
Senior sent the shoebox. So there we have it. It is as simple as that.
As
Rhoda.
simple as that, Dougal. I really enjoyed this one. It was beautiful.
Yeah, you know what? And I like talking to Angela, because let's be honest, this. Imagine now you're sitting on the couch, you're watching TV, football or whatever
Yeah.
it is. You see something, you're like, let's do that.
Yeah.
This is how it started 6 years ago.
6 years
now
ago.
we're looking at big numbers of people. People are looking forward to this, and sadly, also people are dependent on this.
Oh, yeah.
Now COVID has put a handbrakes plus another handbrake and a
So
fence
true.
and trailer gates and all of that on everything.
Yeah.
So our contributions and efforts need to be there. And I think this is also very, very well considered. It is what is in need.
It's
This is not like money makes the job of anybody much
Yeah.
easier. We all know this. But something as simple as just a treat. We're talking a packet of biscuits, cookies.
So true.
Just that. But
Just that.
think of what you can gain just having a conversation. The most I've learned is from older people.
It is so true.
That's why I'm always with people who's older than me.
Me too. That's why we together.
But that's what it's about. But once again, all I can say is
Thanks,
thank you very
guys.
much to Angela Gorman for joining us today. And it is absolutely insightful and really,
yeah.
really inspiring. And let me also say this, Hubert Paulson, thank you for watching all these programs. Thank you
Thank
for
you.
making such wonderful contributions.
Oh, yeah.
And really, and I think that has sparked it. And you might go take photos.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah.
Don't forget, guys, share, subscribe, and don't forget to hit that bell so you can see any other shows that's coming up and any other notifications. So don't forget, share.
Yeah, once again, thank you very much for watching. So, Nelson Mandela Day was yesterday, and it is really, really about changing society for the better. 67 minutes, that is all we ask. You know what? So if you did yours yesterday, if you're planning to do it today, tomorrow, yes, have fun with it. Spare a thought why you're doing it exactly, but it's not a one-day thing. In fact, make it 2 minutes every day for the rest of your life. Just 2 minutes, 120 seconds. That will be brilliant as well. And it is about constantly doing that so we can create a future we are all part of. We'd like to remind you again, of course, last week we had a whole array of shows.
Oh,
so
yeah.
definitely go check it out and like and share those videos as well, because most importantly, it will spark an idea within your community, as with the one we've just had. Thank you very much for watching. Thank you very much for all the contributions. And once again, thank you very much to Angela Gorman, who joined us today and sharing lights of Senior Centre. So that is it from me.
And from me, see you. Have a fabulous week.
Until next time, bye.
Bye.